Hello, mathematicians. Today we're going to be learning about the coordinate plane, more specifically reflections of coordinates over the y-axis. So here we have a horizontal number line and we have a point graphed at -3. The point graphed at -3 is 3 units to the left of 0. The point that is the same number of units to the right of 0 is 3. This means that 3 is the opposite of -3. And when we're reflecting with coordinates, we're going to be dealing a lot with opposites. On a coordinate plane, a reflection happens when a point or shape flips over a line, like looking at a mirror image. So it would be the same but opposite. A reflection over the y-axis keeps the y-coordinate the same, while the x-coordinate changes sign. So a positive becomes negative and a negative becomes positive. The new reflected point is named using a prime symbol. So we'll go over what that looks like in a bit. So for example, if we had point A at -3, 0, after reflecting over the y-axis, the new point is going to be 3, 0. So let's see what that looks like. Here we have point A at -3, 0. And here we have our y-axis. So our y-axis is the vertical line on the graph. It goes from the top to the bottom and the bottom to the top. So this point here is 3 units to the left of the y-axis. If we reflect it over the y-axis, it moves 3 units to the right. So the point stays the same distance from the y-axis, but it's going to be on the opposite side. So here we have our new point, A prime, which is at 3, 0. So when we reflected -3, 0, the x value changed. It was negative and now it's positive, and the y value stayed the same. And our new point has a little prime symbol showing that it's a reflection of -3, 0. Let's go ahead and do another example. Here we have B, which is at -5, -3. And here we have our y-axis, which is the vertical line on the graph. This point here is 5 units to the left of the y-axis. If we reflect it, it's going to move 5 units to the right of the y-axis. That means the point stays the same distance from the y-axis, but on the opposite side. So the opposite side being 5 units to the right of the y-axis, and then we plot our point. So B was originally -5, -3. B prime is the reflection of B, and it is now at 5, -3. So we reflected it over the y-axis. Notice that the x values are opposites of each other, but the y value stayed the same. And that's what happens when we reflect over the y-axis. Here we have point C, which is at 1, 3. And we are reflecting this over the y-axis. So the y-axis is the vertical line on the graph. Point C is 1 unit to the right of the y-axis. So when we reflect it, the reflection is going to be 1 unit to the left of the y-axis. The point stays the same distance from the y-axis, but is now on the opposite side. So 1 unit to the left of the y-axis from this point is going to be at -1, 3. So C was at +1, 3, and then when we reflected it over the y-axis, it became -1, 3, and that would be C prime. Finally, we have point D, which is at 2, -4, and we are reflecting this over the y-axis. D is 2 units to the right of the y-axis. So when we reflect it, we're going to move 2 units to the left of the y-axis. And again, the point stays the same distance from the y-axis, but it's now on the opposite side. So it's 2 units to the left of the y-axis, and we're going to go ahead and plot that point. So D was at 2, negative 4. And after we reflected it, it became D prime, which is at negative 2, negative 4.